What's up, guys? It's Micmastodon, and I'm back here in my TerraFirmaCraft practice world to do another walkthrough. In these walkthroughs, we take a look at just one aspect of TerraFirmaCraft, and we'll take a look at how it works and how to work with it. And hopefully it helps you out a little bit. In the last episode, I took you through how to get your first metal tools, and in this one we're going to go over using the Prospector's pick to find the underground deposits of ore, which sure beats what you find on the surface. So when I found malachite on the surface, I put this here, so hopefully we're going to find malachite underground here. I don't know where it is. I haven't tried this yet, so we're going to use the Prospector's pick here in the rain to try to find it. So all you do is you take a block and you right click. I found traces of malachite. And I found a small sample. This is good. This is a good start. Now you're going to get a lot of false negatives. So try a few blocks. I keep getting it. Sometimes you get nothing of interest. That doesn't mean there's nothing around. It just means it's a false negative. You're never going to get a false positive. So if it does say it found something, you know that it's there. Now, the Prospector's pick works in a 25 by 25 by 25 block area. Meaning if I test this block here, it's going to test 12 blocks in this direction, 12 blocks in this direction, 12 blocks down that hill, and 12 blocks up the hill, and 12 blocks directly below it and directly above it as well. So a cube in that area. So if I test this block and it says it found a small sample, you know there's a certain amount of malachite within 12 blocks in some direction. So basically you want to start working in a direction until you get changes. Okay, so there's a small sample here, it's traces here. That means that wherever that transition is, somewhere in here, I know that if I count off 12 blocks this direction, I'm going to be finding malachite. Because it was picked up when I got the small sample, and it was not picked up when I got the traces, wherever that block of malachite is. So small sample, and then here's nothing of interest. Here's medium sample. So I know that somewhere 12 blocks from either this block or this block in that direction, there's malachite. So let's do the same thing on the other axis. And let's actually put that torch here. And count off, let's see, this is nothing, medium, small. Okay, let's count off 12 blocks in this direction. And unfortunately we have a hill here. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's actually here, I think. I have a large sample on this block. Still a large sample. Nothing of interest. Very large sample. So somewhere I need to try to find... Here's some malachite right here on the surface, by the way, in case you didn't notice that. Somewhere I need to find the difference between very large and large. And the gypsum is going to throw me off. Large. Very large. So we know it's 12 blocks that direction from about here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I would say this is a spot to dig. When I find that spot, I'm going to dig straight down. I don't have a shovel on me, so I'm going to make one. Some sticks, and here's a shovel. And I'm just going to start digging straight down. And I'm positioning myself over 2 blocks. That's important because you never want to fall in a cave in Minecraft, but in TerraFirmaCraft you definitely don't want to fall in a cave. It could take you a long time getting out. And there is the malachite, just like that. Let me show you a little more about searching for malachite underground. One important thing to note is the type of rock you're looking at. So here, this should be limestone. Right, it's limestone. Malachite spawns in limestone and marble. You're more likely to find limestone on the surface and marble deep underground. So if you're looking for an ore and you believe it's under you, but the rock type that you're finding on the surface is not the type of rock that the ore spawns in, then you know you need to go below that rock level, down to the rock layer below that one, at least. And that's where you'll start finding the ore. So, this vein was right here on the surface, and now I can just start digging around. And look how much malachite we're coming up with. And I should be getting a very large sample, yes. And you know, this is one of the things that's so awesome about TerraFirmaCraft. Rather than just blindly crashing into diamonds when you're tunnel mining in vanilla, you actually have to actively look for the ores, and it's so satisfying when you find them. It's awesome. So once you find it, you're probably going to be getting a very large sample for a while until you start depleting the vein. So you kind of just have to follow the ore. The Prospector's pick doesn't really do you much good once you're in the vein. This is poor malachite, which means it's only 15 units per ore sample or piece. Normal malachite would be 25 units, and rich malachite would be 35 units. But you'll usually find a lot as you start going through the vein. I'm finding a good amount here already. And as you start depleting it, the Prospector's pick won't pick up as much anymore. But I'm still getting a very large sample, so I can still keep chipping away here. So this vein was relatively easy to find. In fact, it was very easy to find. It was right there just below the dirt. Lots of times you're going to have to go fairly deep underground, so let me jump out of here and go find another spot where we have to actually do a little tunneling with the Prospector's pick, because that's a little more realistic, I would say. Okay, here's a situation where I found one piece of magnetite sitting on the ground here, and we have limestone underneath us still, and that's a rock that magnetite appears in, but I wasn't getting any samples on the surface. So I started digging down. And as I went down, I started to get a small sample. Now I'm in creative because that's just going to be easier, I think. Oh, and I got a gem. I got an amethyst. There's no use for these, but you will get them from time to time as you mine into rock. And I've opened up a cave. So this is very interesting. I have traces here, I have small sample here. So either 12 blocks that way or 12 blocks that way. I really don't know. Okay, so traces, small sample. So it looks like it's probably going to be 12 blocks that way. 9, 10, 11, 12. And what do we have? Medium sample. So we'll change axes. medium sample. Give me something to stand on. So I really only want to do one axis at a time, if possible. Still medium. Small. So it goes from small to medium. So 12 blocks from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It should be here. Okay, so we just need to do the third dimension. Now I'm in creative so I can mine straight up, but I don't recommend doing that. Small. So it should be, if I go from medium to small, from right there, there should be a piece of magnetite ore 12 blocks immediately below me. Potentially. And I found a cave. And here we go, guys. Here's our magnetite. It's right here in the cave that I fell into. So I'll just mine a little bit of it. And again, I'm in creative, so this is very easy. I don't have to worry about mobs. I don't have to worry about falling. But I've cleared out a bunch. So let's see how we do. Still getting a small sample. Oh, no, I'm starting to get traces of sphalerite. So I could start looking for sphalerite around here. I believe that's zinc. There's probably only a couple pieces of the magnetite left. What I'd like to show you guys is when you finally deplete the vein. Since it seems like this one didn't have much. Probably because the cave spawned right through where the vein spawned. If you're getting like 5 or so negatives in a row, I would say that means you're not in range of the vein. So 12 from here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Probably around here. There it is. Still getting traces. Here we go. Now have we found the last of it? Yes. I believe that rooster crowing was a signal that we found the last of it. Or perhaps a coincidence. But see, I'm getting nothing of interest anymore. And I think if I go down into here, I'll get some sphalerite, but we're not interested in that right now. I think you guys have a pretty good idea of how to use the Prospector's pick. Just to sum up, you pick an axis in a spot where you think you're going to find the ore. You test a few blocks, and when it changes, increases in concentration from one block to the next, you know from the block where it increased, it's picking up a block of ore 12 blocks away that this block didn't pick up because it's 13 blocks away. So then you count 12 blocks in that direction, and you know that along that plane is where the ore is. So then you test the next direction. When you test the second axis, you do the same thing until you can zero in on the chunk of ore. And that's going to do it for me in this episode, or in this walkthrough. So if you liked it, please let me know by clicking the like button so that I know that these are worth doing. I'll do another one. I'm thinking about doing one with combat and how to make the early weapons and defend yourself against the mobs, because I found some I don't want to say misleading, but discouraging or confounding information in some places. So if anybody's having trouble with that, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of this one. It's been fun. I'm Micmastodon. This is TerraFirmaCraft, and I'm out. There it is. Still getting traces. Here we go. I think this might be the last of it, guys. Right here. Still getting traces. Still finding traces. So... is that the last of it? Nope. Still getting traces. Now have we found the last of it?